Alright guys, this is lesson 16. A little bit different today. We've got a division using something that's kind of new here that you'll probably use the rest of your life when you do division. So instead of drawing dots, we will start with some dots, but instead of drawing dots, we're going to learn how to do division using basically a division sign I call a house division. Some people call it a garage. I call it a house. Let's take a peek at this first though. We've got an easy problem, 7 divided by 2. Now, that's 7 cookies divided between 2 people. We realize it's an odd number. A lot of us say, well, that's not going to be even. We're going to have to cut a cookie in half. Well, let's look at it just purely as numbers right now and just try to see what's going to happen here. What we're going to do is represent this with dots. What we're going to do is have 7 dots. What I'm going to do is put 7 dots here. Whoops, that's a big. Let's go with dots, these things. It's still kind of big. Let's see. These are okay. Blue. Here we go. So 7 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe 6 and 7. Okay. I'm going to draw a line, keeping them separated. They're up there in the ones. That's how many ones we have. 7 ones. Now what I want to do is break those into 2. So I need to split this in half because I want to divide the 7 into 2 separate groups. So I'll use a different color just so it's easier. So I'll take this, I'll split this because that's 2. I'm going to keep Xing these out and sharing these. So I'm going to say the first one is there, second one is there. We're sharing cookies now, so to speak. That one goes there and that one goes there. So we're even. And that one goes there and that one goes there. So evenly, I can split these cookies kind of just like dealing cards, like handing out these dots, and I give 3 here and 3 here. So I know that I have 3 ones in each of these. There's 3 ones in each. Okay, and now we realize there is a leftover dot. How do we show this? Using this new symbol, and I'll zoom this in for you so you can see it. How do we use this new symbol called the house of division? It's a division symbol. Well, one thing we have to remember is where we line things up. The 2 is outside the house, and the 7 is inside the house. How does that work? How do you remember that? Well, I always think of it as a place of honor. Who gets to live in the house? The number who's first in line. Everybody wants to be first in line. So when you see a division problem, who's first in line? They get to live in the house. Who's stuck outside? The second number is always stuck outside the house, knocking on the door. Can I come in? No. All right, so 7's inside, 2's outside. Also, they have names. Take those little arrows away now. Okay. This guy is called the divisor. He's the, well, I'll break the divisor. Divisor. The thing that does the dividing. What's dividing? Who's doing the cutting? 2 is doing the cutting. We're going to cut 7 into 2 pieces. Okay? Sounds a little evil. That's an evil name, divisor. Sounds like maybe in a movie you might have the character named the divisor. Doesn't that sound like a nice guy? Okay, so outside the house, knocking on the door is the divisor. Inside, 7. Hello? It says 2's out here. I'd like to divide you into 2. 7's probably not so happy about this, but 2 says I'm doing it anyway. How many times can I get 2's out of a 7? So when I grabbed in the 7 over here and I grabbed some 2's, how many 2's do I get? Well, I cut this in half. Okay, so how many? When I cut it in 2, I get evenly 3 and another 3. So 2. I'm going to say the answer is 3. Now, how does that work? Well, another way of thinking about it is how many 2's are there in 7? Well, there's 3 1's here and 3 1's here. So I can get 2 plus 2 plus 2. Well, that equals 6. So as close as I can get to 7 is 6. So if I look at my multiplication chart and I say, you know what, I can get as close to 7 I can get is I can multiply it times 3. All right, so let's see. So 2 times 3 equals 6. I don't have a number 2 times something to get me to 7. You know, that's not a multiplication problem we know, so we can't use a number. So we don't go, you can't say 2 times 4. That'll get you to 7. No, that gets you over 7 to 8. That's right out. You can't use that. So we're going to say 2 times the closest number on top, which happens to be our 3 ones that we can see down here. I'll put the 3 on top. Okay, cool. So How many 2's are in 7? 3 of them. 2 times 3 is 6. Awesome. Put the 6 underneath it. Why? Well, because we're going to set up a subtraction problem. We couldn't get to 7, but we could get to 6. How close did we get to 7? Well, take away the 6, we got 1 away. We're really close. We're only 1 off from the actual answer of 7. So we have a remainder of 1. Notice it's a 3 with the R1. Kind of like, don't write 3R1 next to each other. Don't write 3R1 over top. No, we're going to write it next to it with a little bit of space. 3R1, remainder 1. All right, cool. Let's check our work. Now over here is a check. If that really works, let's go ahead and write the quotient. Well, we find that the quotient is the answer to our division problem. Remember that the answer to the division problem is the quotient, which actually lives on top. We have the divisor out here, and we got the quotient. The divisor does the dividing, the quotient is the answer. Divisor. This guy in here is the dividend. We don't really talk about him too much. I'm the dividend. Oh, nice. Dividend. The end of you will be the divisor, and we will get the quotient. So the quotient's over here. We know the quotient is what lives on top of the house of division, which is the 3. He's sitting on the top of the house. Yay, cool. Okay, we're going to add the quotient, and what we're going to do is we're going to multiply it times, whoops, my book looks a little different than yours. Let me see if I can go out here. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. The quotient and the remainder. I guess I could put the remainder right there. All right, so quotient and remainder. You can write them in. Quotient's 3. Remainder is the 1. Easy enough. We're just putting the numbers here. Now over here in this spot, we have 3 times 2. Well, what's that? Well, 2 times 3, 3 times 2. Either way you want to do it, we're going to do 3 2's is 6. Cool. All right. Now, we have to take that and add to it the remainder, 1, and we should get back to 7. And if we do, we've checked our work, and we show that the actual work that we did was correct. It comes out and gets us back to 7. Huh? Well, 2 times 3 was 6. It's close. So we get to 7. We got to 7. We're 1 away with a remainder, which means we can get back to 7 if we use our remainder. We can get back to our 7 cookies. But it looks like if 2 people are going to eat 7 cookies, you're only going to be able to share those 6 solid cookies, because one person's going to get 3, another person's going to get 3, and then 1 cookie's going to be left. So this kid gets 3, this kid gets 3, 1 more left equals 7. Yes, in our world we can take a cookie and cut it in half, but that's called fractions. We don't want to do fractions yet. Stay away from fractions for the moment. Okay. Pause. Go back if you need to. If I went too fast, always pause. Let's clear these and go to the next one. We're going to do the next one the same way. Now it's a double-digit number. We have 10s and 1s now. How many 10s? Our original number is 2 10s and 7 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to draw a little squiggly line like this because I know it's not part of the rest of it. So if you want to do that, you can. I like to show the number separated out up top. Now what I want to do is divide this in 2. So just like before, I'm going to draw a line and cut this number, this original number, I'm going to cut it in half. How many 10s will I have? Well, that's pretty easy. How many of these I'll have? I'm going to have the same. So if I split them up, I'm going to have 3 here. That was 3. Okay, those 3 will be split there. Now take these 3 evenly, we'll go here. 1, 2, 3. Cool. I could evenly get that. What am I going to do with a 1? Eee. I can't do anything with him. He's not a group. I can't put him in either group. It would be unfair, right? We've got him. No, we've got him. No, we've got him. No, you can't. Nobody can have him. He doesn't belong in either one of these. You can't split it evenly in 2. The 10s, though, on the other hand, we can, right? This little guy can go right there, and that little guy can go down there. So it looks like what we've got is 1 10 and 3 1s, which is known as, affectionately, 13. Looks like we're going to have a 13. 13 here and a 13 here. Looks like they're both 13s. Cool. Well, how does this apply to this house of division, I call it? Well, as I said before, when you have 27 divided by 2, 27 gets to live in the house. 2 is the divisor outside. So set it up like that. They've done it for you, which is easy. Now you have to ask yourself, how close can I get to 27? Well, hold on a second. I don't want to ask for the whole 27. Let's think about it one place value at a time. How many 2's are in 2? Well, there's 1. Huh, cool. And What's 2 times 1? 2. All right, write it down right underneath. Awesome. Pretty simple, right? Let's see who the remainder is so far. Is there a remainder yet? No. No remainder. Okay, cool. Now I get to go attack the 7. Oh, I didn't say attack. I mean, whatever I do with the 7. 7 sitting here going, uh-oh, I'm going to be divided in half too also. How close can I get to 7 using 2? Well, I can get there with 2 times 3. The closest I can get is 6. And where do I write the 6 here? No, I'm just going to put it down here with my answer here. 6. Okay, cool. Well, I actually messed up. Let's pause that. Let's go back. I'm supposed to bring this 7 down with an arrow. I'm sorry. My fault. If you can stop right there and do that, I looked down here, I missed a step. Okay, so 2 minus 2 is 0. An arrow will bring down the 7. The 7 actually drops from the sky like a bomb. Hi! Next to the 0. What am I doing down here? Well, that keeps us from getting goofed up in here, so we're going to bring you down. We got a new question now. We're not worried about 20, because 2 times 10 is now 20, if you can see where that works. How many times does 2 go into 7? Just 3 times is as close as we can get. 2 times 3 is 6. We subtract, we get 1 as a remainder. So we have a magic 13 living up here with a remainder of 1. The quotient is 13, the remainder is 1. How do we prove that? Well, let's go over and prove that here. Check our work. Does it really work? Is 13 times 2, or 13 times 12, 13 times 2 is close to 27, right? It's 26. Very close. 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 2 is 2. But we have to add that 1 remainder in, and will we get to 27?
Sorry for the interruption.
Yes, we will.
If you have not done your attendance, if you could do so at this time, thank you.
And surprisingly, kids, I did mine already, so I'm golden. 8 divided by 3. Even number divided by an odd number. Got odd number, even number. Going to be a problem, going to be a remainder. How many 1s do we have? We have 8. Now you could do a squiggly line like I did before, just separate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to divide it into 3. So I have to draw 2 lines to show this divided into 3 pieces. Dividing it into 3. 8 divided into 3 pieces. Alright, so let's see. There's a group of 3. I think I can only get those 2, and those 2. Let's see. 2. Let's see. Let's just break them up one at a time. Slowly. We'll use our color. That dot goes there. That dot goes there. That dot goes there. So far we're good. That dot goes there. That dot goes there. That dot goes there. Uh-oh. We can't evenly split these 2. Who's going to get them? Me and me. No, we can't just do things unfairly in division. We only can give them to the numbers where they belong. So these are 3s. I think there's a 3 in a 2 in each one of these. I don't know where I was counting 3. 1, 2. Looks like there's a 2 with a remainder of what's going to be an R2. Okay, let's see how it works over here in the house of division. 3 goes into 8. How close can I get to 8? 3 times 3 is 9. Darn, that's no good. 3 times 2 is 6. All right, cool. Put the 6 underneath it. What will be the remainder? 8 minus 6. I'm only close to it by 2, so I have a remainder of 2. All right, cool. Let's show that over here. The quotient on top is the 2. And the remainder over here is also 2. Let's show my work. Okay, so what I want to do is check it. So I'm going to put it back together. I'll say 2, or 3 times 2, whichever way you want to do it, is definitely going to get me to 6. If I add the remainder back to the 6, which is the 2, I should get my answer 8. And I should be golden. Okay? Try those, and then we'll try the next page together.